Kalista Morgana, you definitely want to have the option to have double ranged. LC is going to get really tricky with the Kalista passive.
Right, now that we've seen both the compositions locked in, what do you expect to see out of this? What is Rocket's game plan? What are they trying to do with these power spikes that pretty much happen all across the course of the game?
I think we'll see a Righteous Glory engage from Gragas body slam flash combo with a Lulu ulti. That's the ideal scenario, right? You send him in, he knocks them up, knocks some people back, while Hecarim TPs on a flank and surprises them. And I think they want to get favorable fights by getting the minion waves in their control. H2K's comp is very weak on wave clear. They have to snowball. I think if H2K gets behind more than 2,000 gold, it will get really tricky. But they have a lot of surprising damage. Fizz does a lot of damage. Kalista is good at controlling those objectives, has a lot of nice hidden damage. You know, once that passive proc is on and Morgana auto attacks once, that's 12% of your maximum health gone. It can really change the pace of the game really quickly with a couple of those passive shots, but we'll see how this plays out.
Absolutely. A lot of hidden damage on both sides. The smite on the Hecarim is especially going to be interesting for contesting those objectives. Now, guys, we're done with that pregame banter. Why don't you tell us what you think at LOL Esports is the place? Tweet H2K win or ROC win with the hashtags to see who you think is going to take this one as we load up onto the Rift.
Let's see if any team has a cheese platter prepared, or it's going to be the standard fan-out line of scrimmage.
Well, it is the first game of the split. We don't see the most shenanigans traditionally, but there's one thing I've learned since coming here, Crepo. Tradition is anything but a good indicator.
Yeah, I love me some cheese, though, but I don't think so. What I really like, actually, we've seen these lines of scrimmage. I like faking it by sending your top laner and your jungler to one side, basically telling our team, yeah, we're just spreading out, but then collapsing with the other three members on one side to force a ward in. And it looks like the bot lane is actually doing that exact same thing. Kasing backing up Yarn here, hoping that Vander's on a position. They want to force them out, but yeah, 2v2, it's not going to work. They need the support of their mid laner. Fizz obviously doesn't put too much pressure, so that's not really going to work. Standard line of scrimmage, 105 wards drop. This is basically, you want that ward down at 105 so you can comfortably do your camp and figure out whether the enemy is stopping you, or you know, whether they're coming to invade, or whether they're doing their camp. And you want that ward up really quickly for the 3-minute, 3:10 timing. So that's why at 105 you put that ward down. Standard bot lane behavior. Both teams going to their camps. I think this kind of, it's hard to tell, but I think Kalista Morgana likes that level 2 spike to just go all in and kill somebody.
Well, we definitely know Kasing likes that. That has just kind of been their hallmark. You mentioned it earlier that H2K is a team who will pretty much do what you expect them to do. And as an enemy team, you'd think that makes it easier to predict, but it just hasn't been the case.
All right, I want to watch how they do these golems, if we can keep the camera on that, because there's a certain science to it by spreading out your passive, you know, damage on one big golem, then to the small one, then to the big one again. Let's see if they do the perfect PvE style. So they proc the big one, they proc the small one. Look, they go back to the big. I think they should go for the big one here and let the AoE take down the small one. This is nitty-gritty Crepo whining about golems, but I think that's the way to do it. However, they take it down the camp relatively quickly. Lucian Lulu first on the Grump. Let's see if there's a XP disparity coming down or not.
Yep, we will see. Back into lane now. The level 2 on Kasing. Yarnen's still sitting on level 1 himself, so...
Oh, he took full XP then.
Yeah.
Took more XP than Yarnen, hoping to basically push the lane and have the bind be a threat. Good dodge from White.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's only a threat if you can actually land it. Kasing's actually taking a lot more damage than he bargained for. Yarnen stepped forward and took a face full of Glitterlance as well.
Really like to play. The bind is down, so the zone control is out. Yarnen's still level 1. Really aggressive play and really solid play from Rocket. Really good reactionary play. They know what went down. They know that all the experience of the camp almost went to Kasing here, whether it was by choice or by accident. They dodged the binding, immediately put on the aggro switch. Really good reactionary play, and yeah, let's come to play.
Oh, yes, he has. He's definitely got something to prove here. So, serious CS lead to start this one off. Yarnen a little bit gimped by his CS differential. He just hits level 2 now. We'll see if he's able to tango with Woolite.
And this matchup is all about pushing. Whoever pushes has the ability to poke. It's really hard to dodge a skill shot when you're getting pushed in because you can only dodge backward. Good bind there from Kasing because it limits the angles in which you can dodge, you know. If you're pushing, you can dodge forward, backward, and sideways, but they're fighting over the Skull Crab in here.
Yeah, Yanko's in a bit of a precarious situation, but he should be able to escape nice and easy, but Lulex has the Prey Seeker. Nope, not quite up. He's not able to get it, so that one goes over to Yankos. The Crab Wars are a very integral part of the early game Crab Wars.
Yeah, that definitely helps to set up your wards. You can, if you get the Skull Crab, it means you can actually put your ward in the Tribush if you want. Good aggro from Woolite, and Yarnen's forced to base really, really big here for Rocket.
Yeah, that's really troubling. He's only able to pick up a longsword for all of his efforts, and now he's going to lose out on even more experience as Woolite Vander are pushing in this lane. So I really hope H2K have a backup plan right now because their bot lane is not going.
Where is Ryu going?
He's going up top. This is going to be interesting. Let's see if he can bully out Steve. He hits level 4, dives in, ignites immediately, taking tower shots as he playful tricksters into Steve. Predicts it. Odoamne taking tower damage, and that's going to be first blood to Ryu.
This was such a sick play, so sick that Odoamne wasn't even ready for it. Ryu goes in, gets a tower aggro, then hops up and playful and trickster, and he sees that Steve is moving out of the range, so he flashes while he's coming down from his pole and lands on top of Steve. Steve has no flash, so he can't counter flash. Beautiful play by Ryu, and this is how you punish somebody with TP Smite. You use the fact that he does not have a flash to your advantage, and somehow Ryu was allowed to push mid lane against the Cassiopeia. Not sure if that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, not sure at all. He has been down a little bit of CS, but I mean, that's just because he was on that roam. He took a little bit of time, but absolutely worth it. He goes back, he gets himself a little bit extra items and extra Dorns, the wards he's able to pick up for it to grab some extra vision for himself. So, we wondered about this Fizz pickup, but so far it's doing all right.
Yeah, good deep wards here from Jankos. He comes in to support the mid lane. Basically, Nuktak wants to push in this lane safely, or at least contest that CS without getting ganked. Vander groups up with Jankos because they have the safety of the pink ward in the back, but they're spotted by a Sentinel, so not much is going to happen here.
Yeah, we were talking about vision too. I mean, that's a very valuable part of Kallista's kit that I feel like is undervalued, or at least is understated. Just because you don't have to invest as much in wards, you can utilize the Sentinels. Yes, they give 10 gold to your opponent, but small price to pay.
It is, but it gives vision, but it's very tricky to rely on it because people can walk around. I remember this one game where the enemy jungler dodged 3 different Sentinels, invaded in the jungle, and basically punished the Kalista, feeling safe. False sense of security, got punished really hard for it.
Spring in Korea, I believe, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. No, and I mean, that's an extraordinary circumstance, but you're right, it's not exactly a fail-safe. Now, Vander is able to dodge out the Dark Binding. He's having a hard time hitting those today.
Ooh, nice.
He could be in some trouble. Woolite, not quite enough. The exhaust is on him.
I feel like
it's expensive down there.
See, Woolite knows he is ahead. It's actually really smart. Didn't want to blow his heal or his flash because he knows if he flashes, he's only going to trade Yarn and flash for flash. And you don't want to do that when you're ahead because Yarn has to base anyways. Save your flash, play nice, just get that advantage snowballing, and make sure you can't get closed on by Lulix later. Really solid play by Woolite and good decision making.
Junglers seem to be fated to meet up at that river area. Lulix not getting the better of it so far as Ryu is coming in. Jankos still confident that he can throw a few more barrels his way.
My Rocket's playing very well reaction there. They see Lulix in the jungle, they react to it. They don't get caught by the bind. They see the bind, so they know Kasing is not ready to follow up and protect his AD carry. Woolite uses that information to his advantage to dash in aggressively on Hjarn. Solid team play, nice use of resources from Rocket. Very impressive compared to their former form.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very, very early to say, but compared to the performance we saw out of Rocket last split all the way up until the promotion tournament, it was not something that would have been able to compete with H2K at the level they are at now. Even 7 minutes early into the game, we'd have seen them falling behind. We'd have seen them not really knowing what to do, and they've so far been quite fine, only giving up the 1 kill. Odoamne now into Mega Gnar form, but Jankos is there. He can't really do much.
This is ugly though. If your jungler level 4 has to walk into the lane to secure a push out, it means you're in a bit of trouble though.
Oh, Odoamne going aggressive. Yep, in comes Lulix, gets the knock-up, gets the kill. Odoamne gets himself another assist just as Mega Gnar expires, and Steve starts his LCS career 0-2.
Yeah, I don't like this play. Just walking into the lane like it, you give all the information to your opponent. You're playing without a flash on this Hecarim, and you just get punished so hard. Really, really good at H2K localizing the weakness of the Rocket roster and basically pinpointing it and exploiting it super hard.
Yeah, sometimes it is the game of getting up on the newcomer. Steve has really been unable to do much about this to start off. They'll have to be very, very careful pushing forward, but this could definitely prove a pain in Rocket's strategy later game. Kasing eats half of a culling as Yarnan just doing everything he can to try and push the wave out.
Woolite's stuck on a pickaxe even though he has a really big CS lead. That's a little awkward. You really want, once you start snowballing this game, you really want to base on a BF sword, but there's a 30 CS lead almost for Woolite.
Yeah, and he's still got about 300 gold or so before he can pick up that BF sword, so he's a little bit of a wonky spot right now, and he doesn't want to allow Yarnan to really get back into this one, so yeah, but kind of a tough call.
At the same time, Yarnan was forced to buy a Vamp Scepter, so he's going to be really far off any notable spike. But the game is pretty much divided in half right now. The left side of the map is for H2K, and the bottom side of the map is for Rocket. However, we haven't seen a dragon. Usually, when you see this bottom focus, or bottom advantage on the map for one team, this translates to a dragon. But Jankos was basically patching up, Steve in the top lane. Didn't get a dragon, but Steve still died, and this is worrisome for Rocket right now.
Yeah, it is, but you know, there is that silver lining that they haven't really been able to secure a dragon. Jankos and Vander now roaming together to establish some vision down on that side. They throw a ward, discover the pink one, and they're able to clear out the rec side tunnels. Vander going very deep for just a second. He goes a little far to get a ward down.
He knows
everything else
he has
is a little bit
backup.
normal, but yeah, it's safe for them to do this right now because they know not much attention is being paid to this bot side outside of the 2v2.
I think we might see another roam from Rio soon. Has pushed in the mid lane, has the opportunity to at least disappear to the left, knows there's a pink ward there, and basically just disappearing and making people afraid of a possible roam is something you could do. However, if Rio goes top again, they will lose the dragon, so he might opt to stay in the mid lane.
Now let's see. For the moment, Nukeduck's taking a brief break to pick up his blue buff. Janko's helping him out with that one. But yeah, Rio has done pretty solid in this matchup so far in this Fizz. The really worrisome thing is, though, how long is this laning phase going to continue? Because that's only going to be better and better for Nukeduck's Cassio. Yeah,
he likes that. At the same time, Fizz does a remarkable amount of damage, especially once the game opens up and some towers disappear. He's a really good split pusher. Rio went top. Let's see if Rocket spots this or not. Decides not to dive because they don't want to give away the dive and trade for a dragon. I think Rio bases picks up items and wants to start contesting the dragon.
Right you are. Goes ahead and gets his needless. Now Lulek's going to be securing up some crab.
This crab will be really big.
Oh, actually, wait a minute. It's going straight towards... Oh, now it backs away. That's a very fickle crab. Jankos is going to go ahead and secure it. No problem whatsoever. Lulek's got a little spooked on that, and as a result, Rocket, they're continually controlling vision in this dragon area, not letting H2K get any more of an edge. Yeah, they got an advantage on the bottom. Look at Wulak, 95 CS of 66. But how does that translate into the game? He's sitting on only a pickaxe all this time. Kalista was able to farm for free because Bam Scepter into pickaxe, you know, that's free, and they stopped their bases on the bot lane. Exactly. So this could be a moment for H2K to actually strike. Kasing, though, does take a serious amount of damage, but it would hurt a whole hell of a lot better if they had been able to back and grab some more items. Now you see Lulex and Rio dueling the dragon. It's spotted by Rocket, but all the vision in the world doesn't matter if you can't act on it. Yeah, poor item timings from the bot lane. Didn't really translate their advantage. Yeah, they had a gold advantage, but didn't translate into a lead on the bot lane. Bam Scepter farms perfectly fine into pickaxe. You know, really good job by Kasing. I assume he used his tormented soil to stop the backs from the Rocket bot lane. They will have to be scared once they actually finish that back. But right now they can play passive on the bottom side of the map because they got the objective. They got the dragon. They basically just want to secure those towers, keep them alive, and let Odoamna beat up Steve for a while. Yeah, and he runs right. Q. So Steve is definitely, I think beat up is the word to describe it right now. This is a bit of a problem for him. We'll see if any help comes from him. In the meanwhile, Jankos is focusing on Nukeduck's lane as he backs away after the wave has been pushed in. Lulex clearing out some vision on the other side here. Jankos is getting out-leveled by Lulex pretty significantly. Lulex continuously been a level up on Jankos. Jankos even forced to like walk into lanes to assist with wave clearing. Really not good if you have to do that as jungler, because the best thing about being a jungler is that you can show up any lane and gank, right? But if you give the information where you are to a team as organized as H2K, they will punish you that. Not in the spot where you are, but somewhere else on the map, they will use that to their advantage. And you see Odoamna taking down the first tower of the game on the top lane. Yep, grabs that one for free as Steve was forced to back away. Let's go back to the bot lane for a second because Woolite is putting some serious hurt onto Kasing. Gets stopped by the binding, but for now they're dominant. Woolite snuck a base. That's really smart. He snuck a base, and now Hjarnan and Kasing, they have to get the hell out of there. They have to get to base, get some items, or otherwise Woolite will just straight up beat them up, and they have to hurry or they'll just straight up lose their bottom tower here. Really significant point in the game. Is Woolite going to take down his tower? Yeah, well, they're just backing now. This is not looking good for H2K's bottom first tier turret. The mini wave is inbound. Jankos and Nukeduck are moving in that general direction as well. Kasing actually stuck around, but he can't do anything here, and now Jankos is providing a buffer against Lulex. This tower is as good as dead. Yeah, solid rotational play from Rocket. They recognize that they really needed that tower to even out the tower score, and they basically supplement their advantage by moving other pieces on the map over. Really, really good use of resources. Yeah, with that, they bring the gold within 200. 13 minutes is the time on the clock. There's only been one dragon, and it's been for H2K, but Rocket still holds on. Well, no lead actually for them, but you know, they're very, very close. Hjarnan has to be careful. BF pickaxe into a cutlass is the worst part of this matchup, if it ever happens, that you could be in. At least if you finish your Blade of the Ruined King, you have an active proc. If you get some more damage like a BF sword yourself, you can actually win some trades if you're lucky, but this is really awkward spot to be in. Yeah, I mean, there's no way he can trade with Woolite right now. I wouldn't be surprised if once he finishes pushing down bot, assuming Rocket decide not to defend this one if they try to push somewhere else on the map, if he then, you know, goes and hangs around mid, goes and hangs around top, and tries to turn things around. That's a really good pointer, because if we go back to how we handled the champ select, we noted that H2K is very weak in the wave clear front, and Lucian can really expose that.
calling to poke somebody out of the tower and then take down a tower. Rocket should start looking at taking more and more towers while keeping the bottom one alive. I don't think putting 2 people bot is the correct play for them. I would like to see them collapse on mid lane, use the fact that Fizz barely has any wave clear, use the bottom lane advantage and translate it like Forgiven did earlier in the Gambit game.
And you can see that Rocket are definitely hoping for this game to go on as long as possible. The tier has been sitting on the Cassiopeia for a while, but the Abyssal Scepter completed as that first item. What do you think of that particular build?
I think it's alright if you're playing against a Mage Assassin, but Steve's getting caught again.
Yes, he is. He could go 0-3 as he goes in with the Onslaught or goes out with the Onslaught. It won't be far enough as Odoamne picks him up. Didn't even need to dive, just found him on the crux.
Yeah, H2K recognizes that they have to start playing towards the strong side. Kasing abandons bot lane, knows that they will lose 2v2 anyways, predicts a possible roam into mid, and they start playing around the strong side. Play around Odoamne, don't need his TP, you know, make him the crux of the team right now, and it works out, they get a pick.
They get another one. Yanko's forced to spend his explosive cast just to push them off of this one. Now you've got the waves pushing once again Rocket's way down bottom. Yarnan forced to farm up his Krugs just to try and keep relevant. This is not looking good for H2K.
Yeah, what did Rocket do in the last 2 or 3 minutes with the bot lane? Vander and Moonlight pushed up, got to the tier 2 tower, did some damage in it, then decided to back off. They lost the momentum. Tempo is a really integral part of League of Legends right now, and Rocket lost a lot of tempo while H2K gained some, and this is really, really crucial for the state of the game right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're focusing on a lot of their attention on Steve, and that's definitely working out well for them.
They're literally
Rocket are doing, yeah, exactly. Rocket are doing fantastic on bottom, but you're right, there's not a whole lot else going for them right now, and that's the issue.
Yeah, but Steve's at the point where it's not worth killing him anymore, 0-3. So they basically just want to put him in awkward spots where he has to push out lanes and move all the Odoamne, move that strong piece to another side of the map. We might see some TPs coming in.
Yeah, we might see some Rek'Sai ultimates as well. Kasing knows he has some backup, and there is an Odoamne coming in. Fate's call from Yarnan. They're looking for an extended engage. He throws Kasing in. Glitterlance goes, but Jankos is the target as they put the wild growth on him. Will it be enough? No. The spears get ripped out of him, and here comes Odoamne. Yarnan picks up Vander. Steve, talk about a dead horse. 0-4 on the scoreboard, and H2K pick themselves up 3-0.
And look at the timing in the game, 10 to 20 minutes. This is where H2K puts on the fire. They use their playstyle to their advantage, and somehow they come out on top again. Beautiful chains you see on Jankos. Rulix flashing for the knockup. They don't want Jankos to move anywhere, because once you eliminate the tank, Rocket has no tankiness left at all, and a really beautiful ulti from Odoamne, and their resource management has been beautiful. They play passive on the sites where they have to. They capitalize on advantages where they can, and it all culminates in 3 kills and a tower for H2K, and they're now 4,000 gold, almost ahead.
And it might even be another tower if you take a look. But let's take a look at how this fight went down. First off, starts with a bait from Kasing.
Yeah, basically Kasing baits them in, teleport comes in here from Odoamne, face call is used for the knockup, into the bind, into the watch Lulix, flash knockup again. They basically call Jankos, he's dead. Fizz is coming in from the side, flanking, really good 2-man ulti because they're basically watching their tank die. They're standing around, is he gonna die? Okay, is it? Oh god, we're caught out, we gotta run. And then Odoamne pins them into the wall, double stun, really good play, and Rocket almost seems flabbergasted about what's going on.
Yeah, definitely not quite in sync, and unfortunately for Steve, he's definitely had a rough start of things. Now, Rocket are going to attempt this Drake, but H2K will not give it up so easily. We'll see if they go in, no steals. That one does go to Rocket.
Woolite got it.
Breathe a sigh of relief. Yeah, Woolite had to get that, so with 2 smites, AD carry takes it.
H2K not being punished for the lack of wave clear, and they found the weakness in Rocket's armor, in Steve having no flash. I find it still peculiar that a Fizz can roam up top, dive, and not get punished, not lose his tower at all, and it's just really solid play, and really, really impressive that that H2K managed to recognize that. It seems really obvious in hindsight, you know, yeah, he has no flash, okay, you can push him, you can dive in, but to do that in a game on LCS stage is very, very impressive.
Oh, yes, indeed. So, with all of that, H2K have certainly pulled ahead in this game. They find themselves 3,000 gold up. The Dragons are even, but the kills are all H2K. 6-0 is that score line. In just a couple of minutes, Baron starts to hit the field. We'll see if that becomes an object, but for now, looks like H2K are eyeballing this bottom side. Woolite dodges out a Dark Bind, but Yarnan and Lulix are there with Kasing to keep on the pressure. They're
basically faking a dive because they know they don't have teleport, so they basically want Odoamne to take down top tier 2 while they're safely pushing down bottom. Rocket might recognize this and try and take out Odoamne himself, but then they'll lose the bottom tower to a dive anyways. Really tough position for Rocket to be in if H2K has the proper vision to recognize this play.
Yep. Oh, and there goes the Cassio ult. Steve goes in, and Odoamne just out of Meganar form is going to go down. Nuke Duck will pick up his first kill of the game.
I like
it was a little bit messy, and they trade for a turret, though.
Yeah, but I think one turret, either top tower tier 2 was going to fall or bottom tier 1. They traded for a kill. I think that's the best case scenario for Rocket. I like the roam. I think it's a smart play.
And what does it say about Rocket, though, that this is the situation that they're in? They have to basically make sacrifices regardless of what they're doing at this stage of the game.
This is basically mistakes from the past coming to bite you in the future. And here goes Yarn Fate's call onto...
Yep, he gets knocked up onto Nuke Duck. They combo it, and they throw the Chum the Waters, and that is one dead snake. Ryu pops his Zanya's Hourglass as Jankos goes in, goes out. Is he big enough? No, not again.
Yeah, especially if you lack wave clear, you really need to make these picks happen, and H2K is so good. No hesitation, just throwing Kasing in there, relying on him knocking people up, and then comboing it with the bind into another knock-up. You know, so much damage coming out. Good bind from Kasing.
Yep, now they found Steve. Tormented Soil is on Ryu, Playfuls and Tricksters, and he gets a kill on a spree now as the minions are still tanking the tower. Yarn and Hop skipping and jumping all the way to a few more tower shots, and H2K are able to clean up 3 kills in total off of that.
5,000 gold lead.
Oh, yeah.
Really impressive.
Starting to roll out of control. Rocket, what can they do to come back from this one, though? Because they just seem to be very scattered. Some good answer moves, but not without giving things up. I
think the only way they can win a fight right now is a good flank from Hecarim. While this tower is going down, or maybe Caspia are flashing just the multiple people, but H2K seems to be so controlled that they're not going to let that happen, you know?
No, and they wait. It looks like it may have been a little bit long, but they really, what threat did they have to answer for? Steve was not quite up yet. His teleport isn't available either. Still a few death timers were ticking when H2K backed away. They had just enough time.
And even if he teleports, I believe he went for the Cinder Hulk into the makings of a Banshees or potentially a Spirit Visage. You know, he's not going to deal any damage. 0-5 Horse, they don't even have to be afraid of the flank anymore from Steve because he doesn't have the traditional Triforce to dish out so much damage. They can pretty much ignore him at this point and focus on the other carries. Basically, they just want to blow up Nuke Duck.
Yeah, let's take stock of where this game is at, because we talked about the 10-20 minute power spike that H2K has. In this game, they've certainly hit it to a T. At 10 minutes into the game, it was incredibly even. It was very much tie game in almost all aspects, maybe a few towers and a few dragons here or there. Now, we've got ourselves 5,000 gold difference, like you said. Still 1-1 in dragons, but that kill score pretty much says it, 9-1. H2K have been finding the holes in Rocket strategy and exploiting them time and time again.
So what they want to do now is put Ottawa on bot with teleport and then control the top side of the map. They want to get rid of those pink wards that Rocket has in their jungle right now. Put deep vision, and I think H2K will do that. Because the lack of wave clear, not the best siege in the world, they might just want to start baiting Rocket into face checking. Face checking gets punished really hard, especially when you have a Rek'Sai with Tremor Sense. She can spot out people moving in the dark really easily, especially when they move towards an objective. Could be really dangerous for Rocket here.
Yeah, could be dangerous for Rio, however, though. Finds a Jankos in the brush. Promptly body slams into him, but they're going to go ahead and give up a pink ward for that one. H2K continuing to squeeze Rocket out of their own jungle. Now Steve finding Ottawamne, but as you said, he really doesn't do any damage. He's got to be careful too. Meganar's not anywhere near happening, but he doesn't need it. Ottawamne just puts on the damage.
Yeah, the new Black Cleaver really working into Ottawamne's favor here, and Steve doesn't want to teleport in the fights anymore. He just wants to cancel Ottawamne. He wants H2K to face off 4v4 against Rocket, potentially lose the fight with a good Nuke Duck's ult flash, but even then, you know, he's just getting wheeled down because he has to stay in range to cancel the teleport. And Rocket's trying to gank Ottawamne here.
Yep, up, flash for a flash right there. Explosive cast. Ottawamne's dangerously close to Meganar, though, and Steve might have overstepped his bounds. Now you see Jankos bailing out a barrel to help Steve, but it's all they can do to stay alive in a 1v2. Ryu diving onto Woolite. Does he have the damage? He does. Kasing is there. He's got his ultimate on, and a pair of exhausts. One for Ryu, one for Vander. H2K, turrets be damned. They're going for the dive. There's the petrifying gaze, but it only slows down H2K for just a moment. They're piling on forward and eyeballing the inhibitor turrets.
And this is H2K in a nutshell. You know, you try to aggress on us in the bot lane, we will find a way to kill you in the top lane. Cross-map objectives. Really the bread and butter of an objective-based team like H2K. And walls seem to be optional for Kasing. You know, there's a wall here, just use Fake Skull, throw me over, I'll just land a binding. Playful Trickster, Zanya has a lot of ways to reset tower aggro by Ryu, masterfully used, and H2K is playing this game to a T. 10-1 in kills. Rockets, they're not getting anything.
No, they're not being allowed anything here. Now Dragon coming up in 10 seconds, but Rocket, they've got very little way to contest this. There's a tiny window with everyone just coming back from base, but do they even want to risk it at this point? It doesn't look like that's the case.
Again, what Rocket wants to do now is keep Ottawamne out of these fights, have Steve cancel his teleport ideally, and somehow win a 4v4, but no flash on Nuke Duck, no flash on Woolite, no flash on Vander, no flash on Jankos. That makes your plays very predictable, and H2K is looking top form right here.
Absolutely, look to secure themselves Dragon number 2 at just under 24 minutes into the game. They've got their bases covered, that is for sure. But on Rocket's side, you know, what really, they've had their options really whittled down. The Hecarim is pretty much irrelevant. They've been forced into these predictive plays, as you said. Really, it seems like it's going to all be on the back of Nukeduck the longer this game goes to have that Cassiopeia damage, but that's still a long ways away. He's still on basic boots. Yeah,
he's definitely struggling. He has a lot of DPS, but he has no ways to land it. The mobility coming out of Rio, and he can be untargetable for so many times in a row that it's really tricky to kill him. Lulex is always ready with that flash on the trigger, you know, to flash knock up and basically CC chain people down. Really good play from Yarnaro, nice spacing, good ultimates too. So H2K playing pretty much flawless, and they're capitalizing on what they did in the early mid game. And if we go back, we just want to highlight, you know, how well they played their composition, how well they knew their strengths and how they exploited Rocket's weaknesses. And I think if we want to analyze this game, one thing that went wrong is the item timings on bot lane. When you're 30 CS up, you really want to capitalize that somehow. Playing pickaxe into Vamp and then being kept, you know, until you base on maybe 110 CS, it was too much for Rocket. Solid props to H2K for staying in the game though.
Yeah, absolutely, and just outmaneuvering time and time again. It just seems like the biggest story is execution. Both these teams had solid compositions. They knew what they wanted to do, but H2K knew exactly how to shut down the Rocket plan.
And it looks like H2K is like putting up vision deep red jungle, so they have the teleport threat to punish Rocket if they check.
Oh,
but Rio's going in.
Yeah, he's got Chum the Waters onto Woolite, and he's going to get 8. Just like that, Rio's going to pick that one up, and he dodges out.
Still has Zhonya's too.
From the Petrifying Gaze. Yeah, he'll be able to play Playful Trickster once again. Nukeduck just cannot catch him. Again, still those basic boots. Yeah, and Slippery Fish, even harder to find.
You see what Rio does. Like, he forces the gap closer to be used by Woolite, knows he has no flash, guarantees the ultimate landing, and at that point, Woolite is a sitting duck, and you know, he will just get ate alive by Fizz, and there's no reaction in time by Rocket because H2K is spreading them out. They want to. Rocket's one of those teams that definitely wants to 4v forward in this comp, but they're not allowing it to happen. H2K, flawless execution so far.
Flawless execution indeed. After pushing that one, Rio will go back, spend more of his hard-earned gold. 402, his score this game has been absolutely phenomenal and untouchable.
Yep.
On the bot lane now, Otawamne. Making a feint of pushing at the bottom, seeing if he can bait out Steve. Sweep on the Baron to see if Rocket would be aware of this, but they know with 3 members there that something has got to be up. Ryu rushing to get back to this one.
Yeah, H2K not getting too greedy. They just want to secure visions or wards in every single brush here so they can see Rocket's moves and take the safe Baron, because they don't have a timer, right? Because Otawamne will beat up Steve 1v1 if Rocket commits more resources to the bot lane. The Baron will automatically become free, so time just plays into H2K's hand perfectly here. Eventually, it'll be enough wards, or Tremor will be secure enough that they can take the Baron and start closing out this game.
As you say it, so let it be true, Crepo. H2K start this Baron off. Team Rocket inbound trying to stop this from happening, but Yankos wanders right into a Chum the Waters, and he throws a barrel out trying to escape now. Teleport from Otawamne, gets stunned up. Lulex takes a huge shot at Coling, but Woolite and Nukeduck are next on the table. Otawamne, Meganar, just at the right time. It's a double kill for Yarnan. Steve now collapsed on by the rest of H2K. That's a triple kill for the Callista. They can take this Baron for free. The question is, do they still want it? Oh, yes.
And there's nothing Rocket could do, really. Like, they were forced into that play. They had to check the Baron. They had to fight their way out. Otawamne found a way to teleport away from Steve so that Steve couldn't cancel it. The second that lands, it's almost guaranteed that Rocket H2K is going to win this fight.
Baron, okay.
Sing volunteers his tribute.
Yeah, you know, why not, right?
An ode to the blood.
Baron has killed as many H2K members as Rocket has this game.
Go Baron.
Yeah, Vander trying to be a nuisance, but he just can't do enough. In the end, it's secured. When you've got that many spears stacked into you, Yarnan can rip him out for a lot of damage.
So, and this, we said it earlier in Elements' game, you know, they had a really group one-mode combo teamfight style type of deal with no wave clear. Baron solves that problem in a siege. Now, H2K has a bit of a different composition. They want a 1-3-1 and make picks. Baron amplifies that so much because now every single lane will get the Baron buffs, you know, because Kassing is not going to split push on his own, so it doesn't matter that he lost his buff. A little unfortunate that he died there, but H2K can set up for a 1-3-1, a 4-1, buff all the creeps.
Exactly, I was going to say they have a whole ton of options at this point, and they can just continue to push Rocket further and further back into their own base. I mean, they're already sitting on only 1 tower outside of the base remaining, but let's see if Rocket can find something. He's going to be slowed down as he tries to tunnel, forced to flash away. Yarnan now in there for the defense, but Rocket, they've got a momentary advantage. In comes Steve, and Nukeduck will pick up a kill. Yarnan is next on the plate, and that's going to be Steve picking up his first. Rocket have found a tiny bit of breathing room.
And this is how you stop a 1-3-1. You kill before it happens, because once all everybody's in position, pushing the lanes, it's too late, because if you commit to one side, they will take a cross-map objective. Really good read by Rocket. They hide in their jungle, knowing that somebody's going to want to shoot for vision, and they kill. But Ryu, he wants blood.
Yeah, look at how confident H2K are. 2 members down. They still think they can make a play. Ryu flashes, but Vander follows suit on this one. odoamne now chasing on Steve as he hop skips and jumps over. Oh, Woolite is down as Ryu chases through him, and odoamne finds Steve. H2K, in member disadvantage, are able to still come up with 2 picks.
Yeah, this highlights the state of the game, how far H2K is ahead. Ryu, he doesn't care that teammate just died, you know, so nice, you took the cooldowns, I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, no problems for them whatsoever. Now forget the split push because H2K are right on the inhibitor turrets. No need now with Woolite and Steve down. Chum the Waters dodged out, but it doesn't even matter. They just used it to zone as this inhibitor is not long for the rift. odoamne jumping forward. Nukeduck is found. He's not going to get anything with his petrifying gaze, and a cherry on top for H2K as they push Team Rocket even farther back.
Yeah, fantastic play here, and it almost unsurmountable lead for H2K, and they're going to end this game, I imagine, on a 4-1 split push. They can also start knocking on the front door on any of the lanes, but they can pick up another Dragon here, uncontested. Rocket is down more than 10,000 gold at this point in the game. That is so hard to deal with, almost impossible, one would say.
Yeah, now Dragon number 3 going down for H2K. There's no way that Rocket can get there to try and stop it. They've lost all control of the map. With extra mobility now from this 3rd Dragon buff, H2K will be even slippier, even harder to catch. And Rocket are almost out of options.
Yeah, H2K not going to make the same mistake again. Hyaran basing safely. We just saw a trade for Dragon for double golems. Slightly in H2K's favor here.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. 3 kills for Rocket. We see a lot of one-sided games today. A lot of teams that, you know, snowball their advantage without giving away too many deaths, and that's what we highlight at the start of the show, where we show these fancy graphics we made. People who give away less deaths and try to get, you know, a decent amount of kills, they win game. It sounds logical, of course it does, but you know, we see H2K basically play this style to a T, and they're finally losing maybe 1 tower in the top lane, but I don't think they care too much.
Well, it's a style that got them 3rd place in the European LCS, and it looks like it's about to get them a win if this trend continues. odoamne goes in a little far by himself, but he's just perfectly fine. He's eating a full culling, and all of Rocket are still backing away from him. The rest of H2K are pushing bot now.
Yeah, that's a 1-3-1. You know, you force them to overextend on one side relatively safely. Maybe a little too bold by odoamne there, but he delays their back timing so much that H2K can maybe get a tower on the bot lane. Woolite's 1v1ing him.
He is 1v1ing, but odoamne outplays him. How about that? A Thornmail will do that for you. On top of the Randuin's Omen, pretty much negated a lot of Woolite's damage. Inhibitor now in the bottom being fired down by H2K. They've just got everything in the book against this team.
This has to feel so bad. Beat 30 CS up early, and then you get death by Thornmail in the end of the game. Really, really not fun for Woolite here. Played a good laning phase though, really good reactionary play there, but it just didn't come together for Rocket.
No, it really just didn't. So, and this is why we're at 32 minutes into the game, and H2K are just continually knocking on the doors. They've got 2 inhibitors. They've got odoamne bringing up a herd of minions here as Yarn and Kasing and Lulex are there. Jankos, all he can do to try to back this out is throw a couple of barrels here and there. Nukeduck's still a damaged threat, but they've got to land the perfect combo, and that's really only happened once.
Yeah, H2K horribly are really efficient about it with their Baron, right? They took it down, and 6 minutes later, they already have 2 inhibs down, took a tier 2-2. They're knocking on the base Nexus turrets. They're taking out a 3rd. Rocket they're not swimming anymore. You know, they're sinking.
No, absolutely. Steve is just able to get away from that Dark Binding, but Tower won't be so lucky. It's going to take the rest of its HP in damage. Chum the Waters dodged out, but they are going to go in for the final assault. Steve dodges in, but I don't think it's going to help the rest of his team. Woolite takes down Lulex. In comes Ryu, just dodging around, but he finally will fall down. That's a double kill over to Woolite before he himself melts. Vander chased all the way back to his fountain as H2K completely clean house, and they will secure the ace. Team Rocket blasting off again as H2K are polishing off the Nexus turrets. They will end this game. 33 minutes in, the Nexus is bare, and a fantastic match for H2K as they just take their time around it, dancing about to finish this one off in serious style.
Got a challenge for giving LCS, pad the score a little bit, but yeah, H2K very convincing.